But what's amazing, I go onto their streams, but they will not come onto here. It's only a rare occurrence when we have somebody who is an atheist YouTuber or an atheist TikToker to come on here because they are afraid. They don't have the courage of their convictions to come on and speak intelligently about it. You see, I went on Fiasco Peterson's stream, otherwise known as Planet Fiasco Peterson. Even when he insisted that I come on a stream, I went on a stream and he was nothing short of abusive, hostile, and belligerent. And yet he will not come on my stream. See, I had the courage of my convictions to even, dip my toes in the water, right? But he doesn't have the courage of his convictions because he realizes he's going to get trounced. Same thing with Justin from the deconstruction zone. He likes to pick on low-hanging fruit with his alleged Bible contradictions. Yeah. In Justin's world, from Justin from the deconstruction zone, he has no absolute metaphysically to stand on in order to say that contradictions are invalid. He has no ability to ultimately ground metaphysically, truth claims. But they ignore this problem because they just like doing their mental gymnastics, trying to dissuade themselves that every moment they're one heartbeat closer to eternal judgment. All right, well, they'll learn the hard way. It's sad. Right? It never ceases to amaze me how self-deluded some people are on this issue. It's one thing if someone doesn't want to repent to God, but to delude yourself that there's no God? I mean, that's just utter delusion. Okay, welcome to my block list, okay? The level of immaturity on the part of unbelievers is staggering, right? They just come in here and they taunt and they heckle, they catcall like teenagers, okay? There was no spanking on the part of Fiasco Peterson. He was completely unhinged, verbally abusive, and he was fearful. And he behaved. If you go to the video, watch the video. The reason why he conducted himself in such a crazy, nasty, virulent, hostile manner is because he didn't want to have an adult interaction. So because he was afraid of having an adult interaction, a clash of our intellects, he decided to use the powers of his moderation to be over the top, crazy, abusive, until the point where I would just say, all right, I'm done with this and leave. His conduct is not an example of somebody who is intellectual. This is not an example of somebody who has the courage of their convictions to stand against those they disagree with. I mean, there's no disputing this. If you couldn't see what he was doing, then you need your head examined. Okay? And you know what? I kind of feel sorry for Planet Fiasco Peterson. Why would a grown-ass man, college-educated, behave in that way when he can intellectually refute? In fact, he selected one of the most lamest teenager at the cafeteria table tactics by bringing up an imaginary god Spanky when he already was simultaneously in the same video claiming that he was an atheist. Okay, I mean, this is what teenagers do. Yeah, I mean, Planet Peterson is not a very good debater. I mean, he thinks he is. Maybe what I should do, because he essentially refused to have an adult interaction. Maybe what I should do is do a chapter by chapter review of his book. Maybe we should do that. That would be fun. Well, these days, anybody. No, I'm not joking. You know. Well, look, anybody can use a word processor and then have copies printed on demand at Amazon.
I mean, Tom Rabbit has a book, so I guess it's no surprise.
No, that's T-Jump.
Oh, my bad. T-Jump, yeah.
T-Jump. Look, if Fiasco Peterson is so intellectual. And you see, this is what happens with some of these more scientifically oriented, atheists. They think that they're adept at appealing to sciencey stuff with dealing with low-hanging fruits. It goes to their head, and they think that they have a greater um, metaphysical prowess than they do. Bringing up the Spanky God is literally at a junior high school level of counter apologetics. Okay, it's 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 not. It's even worse than a worldview body double, because at least when they appeal to worldview body doubles, they're appealing to actual worldviews that are out there that people believe in. But nobody believes in the Spanky God, not even Fiasco Peterson. So you have to ask yourself, all he's simply doing as a counter apologetic is doing the worst parody of the Christian worldview about a stuffed animal, okay, that a teenager would do. It's the equivalent. It's the equivalent of saying, "Oh, well, you just believe in a sky daddy." I mean, it's anti-intellectual. No, you can take this to the bank. They are afraid. They will posture themselves like they're not afraid. Like if you look at if go on to Planet Peterson's YouTube page and look at the video from a couple of days ago where I went on his video. Remember, he was the one that demanded that I come onto his stream, right? So I come on, and almost the whole time I was there, he was rude, he was obnoxious, he was hate filled, he was borderline crazy. Go watch the video. Don't take my word for it. Go on to Planet Peterson. Okay, his conduct was an absolute fiasco.
Yeah,
Absolute
I actually
fiasco.
watched that.
And he did a follow-up video about it. And the thing is, his behavior was so bad in the live video, but was even more shocking than his extreme crazy behavior is that he posted the video. He's absolutely shameless about his conduct. You see, when you get a couple of 100,000 followers, they're just shameless. Okay.
Yes,
You know,
there's one
I
more.
caught Peterson. I caught Peterson in a contradiction. What he does is when he's dealing with low hanging fruit, rather than defend his atheism, which he really doesn't defend, he'll bring up he believes in the Spanky God, okay, which is some alleged stuffed animal. But wait a minute, you're an agnostic atheist. You see, when somebody is quite inept at defending atheism, they will typically resort to what is called a worldview body double. Well, they'll do a really terrible parody of the Christian worldview, and they'll invoke that to juxtapose it to the Christian worldview in an attempt to neutralize the presentation of the Christian worldview. The only kind of people who do that are people who are inept at defending their God denialism. And that's exactly what Fiasco Peterson's situation is. Because he's not skilled at all intellectually at defending his unbelief, he has to do the Spanky defense, which is, I mean, it's the kind of thing that somebody who has a teenager's mentality at a cafeteria table would resort to. It's shocking that a man, in his early 30s is doing what teenagers do. Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.